I'll start with the lady, Abiga Shero. She's a vice chair of SONU. A very good morning to you. And then we'll go to Felix Loan, former student leader at Kenyatta University. We have Steve Mbogo. He's a patron of the Kenya University Students Organization. And of course, we have to have Babu. He's the chairman of SONU. A very good morning to all of you. Thank you so much for coming. And I guess the first question would be to you, Steve, because everyone else here is, university leader.
Yes.
But you're Kenyan University Students Organization. You're the patron.
Yes.
What exactly does that body do?
Basically, the main purpose of KUSO, which is the Kenya University Students Organization, is to promote, protect, and enrich the lives of each and every student in Kenya.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's an umbrella body for all the universities that we have
Yes.
in the country.
Yes.
Okay.
Therefore,
Steve, I see you nodding, I see you shaking your head, being the patron of this organization that is supposed to take care of all Kenyan universities. I'd like to hear what you have to say about that.
Yes. Basically, what I believe is when you get students going through social degradation, economic exploitation, political oppression, and intimidation, stigmatization, humiliation from the administration, the only solution is none other than resistance. Now, as the patron of Kenya University Students Organization, what we do is we provide mentorship programs because we believe we want to reach that happy stage of our development where our differences is not only a source of distrust or division, but a source of inspiration and strength. You find that the administration forced the students, and these students are synchronized due to lack of alternatives, lack of an entry plan, and more so because of their silence. So as student leaders, we come out strongly to support the students because what they need is the guidance and directions. We don't advocate for distractions and demonstrations. We advocate for peaceful demonstrations, but at times they get overboard. People become very emotive, they're charged. I mean,
and this is what I'm trying to understand. Have we reached that point where dialogue does not work in Kenyan universities? Because 3/4 of the time, surely, you hear it is a strike, that has been called for.
Yes.
And I will say, I'm a student of the University of Nairobi. It has inconvenienced me once or twice before. So I'm just trying to understand. Have we reached a point where dialogue is not working and this is the only way out?
Okay, basically at times as student leaders we advocate for dialogue. We try our level best, and to an extent where we have to go out there and show it to the public, it means there is no understanding. And that's why we're saying the differences between the students and the administration at times surpass the level, and people become emotive and charged. And as student leaders, we are there to represent the students. We are their advocates.
And I'm going to bring in an argument.
Yes.
When your mother said you couldn't eat meat, did you go on strike at home? When your mother said we will discuss about it on Saturday, did you go on strike?
Not really, but at the end of the day, it depends how you put it across. You see, what we're saying as students, when we go out there, basically we don't go there to destroy or distract people and cut down activities. We've got scenarios where people come in, and none other than students, who come in with the intention to commit atrocities and all that in the name of students.
But then, now that you know that, why do you call for it? You get what I'm saying? Because you know that there are those outsiders who come and join these peaceful demonstrations that you're holding. So why don't you decide to use a different, form of expression?
But basically, you can see lately that we've been very cooperative. Actually, we are handling matters on personal levels. A
lot of Kenyans are feeling like, what makes university students think they're the best thing that ever happened, and they need to seek audience with President Barack Obama. Like I said, even we, the media, would want to have a one-on-one with him, but because of the nature of the job, we will be there. Will he be talking to us directly? No, he'll be talking on different issues. So, I don't know, what's your take on that?
Okay, my take on that, first I want to correct people, and especially the media, in relation to how they put it across in terms of the letter. Now, Babu Owino is a messenger of the students. When he puts up the letter, it is because the students demand and want the information to pass across. So I don't see the main reason why people should crucify Babu for the sense of the letter. For him, he's just the mediator. He's the link between the students and the society administration at large, or the system. Now, my take is, as Kenya university students, and we're talking about the first-class youth in the society, we will love to have a direct interaction with the President Barack Obama. Simply because, one, as my brother said, he's a mentor, and him having a Kenyan background. We've seen and we've watched closely that Obama works very closely with educational systems. He's been very active in student leadership before, and he works very close across the world with the students' fraternity. So we want to have a direct interaction. We are students who've been through a lot. We've been affected. One of the main agendas Obama is coming to talk about is the issue of security. You all saw that last 2 months we had an incident where our university students, 147 students, were killed. We are affected. And that's why we would request to have a wording with him, a direct interaction. We just don't want to listen to him, but we have things to tell him as well. As students of this country, we've been talking about issues on security. We personally we petitioned last year, December, and advocated for our universities to be secure, but no one listened to us. The system was silent, only to come and deal with post-mortem operations, where someone is already dead, and then you want to know what happened.
Well, I wish you all the best, and I hope you'll get some time to come and talk to you guys. Guys, we're coming to the end of this segment, and I just want to find out whether you think university leadership propels one into political leadership, whether that's, you know, one of the routes, or what other forms of leadership can we get into after university leadership. And I'll start with you, Steve.
Yeah, as we said in the beginning, I believe leadership is inborn, and it's a calling actually. And once you go this process, especially when you're in university or educational leadership, it gives you the virtues that will guide you even on higher levels of leadership. Now, we've seen very well, when you look at the current society or the current system right now, you'll realize that 30 to 40% of the current politicians are formally into students' leadership. Because at the end of the day, you learn how to engage and give directions, how to guide, how to protect, how to promote. Now, as much as we might say main interest in university leadership is to join political leaderships, but I believe it gives you a good platform in the sense that you can have the needed qualities or virtues that are vital for you to guide the people. Because I'll tell you, to convince intellectuals, university politics is very difficult. It's much more difficult than national politics, because here you're supposed to convince people who are intellects. You have to be factual. There are people you can't lie to on propaganda, not like the national politics where it's on tribal or party basis. Affiliations, yeah. So it's a very good move, and as I said before, you know, leadership is inborn, and it's a calling. It's a calling. It's not easy. We go through a lot as leaders, and we won't stop leading until you see change in this country.
What is FONA about?
Yes.
Time is not on our side. We need to end that, but Babu has brought it up. What is FONA about?
Yeah, basically, as I said before, the youth of this country have been synchronized for lack of alternatives, and more so because of their silence. As the youth of this country, we sat down and decided we have to find ways of fighting for our rights. These are our democratic rights. We need to be listened to, we need to be heard, and we need to speak.
So that's the reason as to why you formed a political party.
Our main agenda is to promote, protect, and enrich the lives of all the youth in this country.
Okay.
We accumulate 65% of the total voter count. When you look at the last elections, the youth came out to vote, only not to be considered. We are suffering. The youth out there are suffering. Platforms have been used on the youth. With our names, people have gone into power, but time has come where we are saying, and the message should go very clearly to these entities. We are sending a message directly to the registrar of political parties and the NIS.
That you need your registration.
That we need our registration, failure to which.
And that's a conversation for another day, because then there will be the argument that you're being used to, you know, get politics into the institutions, you know, and that's a conversation for another day. We've touched on it a bit, but I don't want us to delve into it a bit further, because then that's how will we be sure that we will not see what happened in Moi University happen again? You know, when you guys form a political party and now go back to university.
And I'll tell you on that, on Moi University, last week, We currently hold motivational talks. Last week we were in Moi University, and as you've said, it has come to our concern that political leaders, the leaders in the system right now, are creating all these divisions. Now, the insidious behaviors in the society, we cannot accept and let it crop into universities.
Okay.
We've done dialogue and negotiated. The students will be back next week, and we are going to curb that tribal cancer in our institutions.
All right, Steve, thank you so much.
Director should resign
Babu,
for not giving us our certificate.
We're coming to the end of the Power Breakfast interview for this hour. Many thanks for joining us, but don't go too far. The next hour, this morning, we want to learn about the Akorino religion, one of Kenya's indigenous religions. It goes back 1930s. We'll be learning more about them in a few minutes. Don't go too far.